Hi everyone, welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing anime the cool the cool guy and his female colleague. So, this anime is really interesting to be honest with you. So, our main character goes works at office. The main character is just like my tiny senpai, my annoying senpai. However, is a little bit mixed up to be between this one and those two animes. Those two animes are more along the lines of realistic, except for this one where there's more fantasy, because the main character, his family heritage is a snow woman, so he can freeze himself, or he can turn everything into ice, which he does that multiple occasions, which I think is pretty fucking funny. He falls in love with a girl who is very fucking clueless on love, so that's the main gist of it. But they do love each other. I kind of figured as much. I was joking around that they should just go to a hotel room and start fucking each other. So yeah, but the only reason why I mentioned Tiny Senpai, My Annoying Senpai, is that the same because the setting of those two animes is the same setting as this anime. It's in the same setting, so they work at the office together. As for the other two characters that are in the same department as they are, they also fall in love, but the girl in that relationship is a fox spirit. She has a tail and she can get some fox ears, pretty much. He falls in love with her, and she falls in love with him, pretty much so to speak. Now, as for the third couple is a girl with glasses, and she falls in love with a guy who's a phoenix, so a fire-breathing bird. No, not a fire-breathing bird. That's a fucking dragon. She falls in love with a guy who is a phoenix. So the phoenix can, the phoenix can has fire wings, and he can also burst up the fireworks for some reason. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Now, now the setting may be the same as Annoying Senpai and My Tiny Senpai, but I think this anime is a lot better than those two animes because it mixes in with some fantasy type stuff, and that's what I like about this anime. Um, which is kind of interesting because the Christmas episode is always at the very end of these anime genres when it comes to the first season, but they have it in like episode 9 or 8 or 9 before, because there's a lot more stuff that's going on at the very end. However, there is one thing kind of that kind of makes my mind wonder. Like, so the main character, if he gets sick, or if he burns up, since he's a snow woman, if he gets too hot or if he gets sick, he turns into a little kid, which I think is really interesting. So that's a dynamic that shows up in a couple episodes, which I think is good. But the only main problem I have with this anime is the the human population. They can't comprehend that there's a guy who's inherited from a snow woman, and they do not fucking register it. Like the guy makes snow come into a restaurant, and everyone's like questioning it. Why is it snowing? Is it part of the attraction? Like they don't really give a fuck. Like this is the guy can make snow come out of his fucking body, and no one fucking everyone besides the main cast actually has the register of what the fuck is going on. And I think that's the main problem with the anime as a whole. Is every person that has no reason for the plot. Um, However, if it does get a second season, that means it's better than My Tiny Senpai, My Annoying Senpai, just because those two animes haven't gotten a second season yet. And if it doesn't get a second season, then that means it's in the same boat as those two animes. Because I feel like that when it comes to an anime that has to do with coworkers falling in love with each other, and they are like, I don't know, um, they are like, fuck, I can't speak for the words. When it comes to an office anime where the two main characters fall in love with each other, one's clueless and one's not, it kind of like you can't do anything else besides that, and it just feels like an empty void at that point if it doesn't have a second season. Just like my tiny senpai, my annoying senpai has the same issues with that because I think that they were popular, but the problem is they weren't too popular that they could make a second season, and that's the main problem with it. I do like the concept that the main character is a guy and he falls in love with a female, but the female's too clueless. Just like my annoying senpai, where the female falls in love with the guy and the guy's too clueless. So I think it's kind of balances it out. But I'm gonna give this anime a 9 out of 10. The first season anyway. If it gets a second season, I'll make a round two video. But I love this anime to the point where I couldn't even speak for the loss of words. As for the soundtrack, I think the theme song's really good. It has a really catchy tone to it. And I think that the other thing that I like about this anime is the fact that the soundtrack actually fits the themes here and there. So that's why I'm giving this anime a 9. What are your thoughts on this anime? Would you like to watch it? I don't know. It depends on what you guys want to do. But I hope you guys have a nice, positive day. Take care, and always stay positive.